Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and maybe you remember this scene. I think it was called Sepia Study After Old Master. I'm not real sure why I said that, because it really was a study after a pictorialist photographer. And I liked some things about it, but I saw some ways to improve it. First thing I'm doing is I'm glazing it with a nice coat of Indian yellow, which is like such a great glazing color. And I've got to thank the person on this channel who pointed it out to me. I absolutely love it. I don't know if I'll go back to transparent earth yellow because I was always adding a bit of red to that to get a tone like this. So there you go. Here we are, right? It's awesome. It's a great color, and I love having it on. It's quite strong. Indian yellow. This is from Gamblin, of course. I don't know what other versions might be. So, also I'm doing a little glazing on the bottom. My criticism of this was that it really was very flat, and that was like one of the things about pictorialism. A lot of times they would flatten the picture plane. That's one of the ways they got things to look like paintings. And I like that flat quality. I'm just augmenting it a little bit. You're going to see, actually you would have seen, I would have had a little preview for the video to let you know there was a video. So you've kind of seen already where I was headed with it, but it only took me about maybe 40 minutes or so to do this, so it's sped up about 3 or 4 times. And I've had it done for a little while. I thought it'd be a good little 15-minute video for you. We had some really awesome videos this week. Two of them really unexpected. One was a 5x7 that was also a study of a pictorialist, and the other was this impromptu seascape, which I wasn't even going to paint that day, but I ended up doing a painting I'm really happy with, and really maybe even would consider doing larger. I have a really nice piece I'm doing quite large, and as I stated in that last video, maybe it's not the last one, but actually that reminds me I'll be talking about a Fauvist piece in a second here, so remind me about that. Um, the large piece I did ended up really incorporating all the board color, painting quite thin, and if you were to look at the painting in my studio now, you wouldn't even be able to discern it because everything's gone extremely matte. It needs to be oiled out before I can finish it, but I was happy with where it was at. It was getting late in the day, and one thing I have noticed is like I have a window of we'll call it painting strength, and it's about 2 to 3 hours. I could maybe go 4. I could go all day if I used to when I was a professional illustrator. I was, on demand, on call, and expected to perform at a very high level all day long and into overtime as well. But that is, that's for commercial stuff, so that's not really. There's a lot of things you can do with commercial work that are cheaty, I guess I would put it, or you're satisfying a market or a demand, so you work up to the level that's expected, and you don't necessarily have to be creating fine art, and that's what I'm always after with my painting. And I'm after creating art, being an artist, and doing something artistic, not just, making images. And there's nothing wrong with image making. As a business, I was in it for ages and made a lot of images, and I could make infinite images. Anyway, we're doing landscapes, and that's what we're talking about today. So, after I did the glaze with the Indian yellow, you can see I'm coming in and just beefing up those clouds. It's not the most inspiring sky ever. As a matter of fact, I sort of recall this 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 photo reference didn't even really have much of a sky in it. I think I popped those clouds in on my own. But you can see I'm still holding way back, well back on the levels of contrast. But it's already been dramatically improved. Yeah, it has. And I think Indian yellow for that, because the second I put that Indian yellow, it just kind of lost that dull quality, and it's all glowy and warm. Surprisingly, though, I mean, I haven't really done a ton of glazing lately, and not to, sort of toot my own horn, but I know how to hit the colors I want to hit, and so 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty satisfied with the colors I'm laying down. I don't feel a strong urge to glaze. The exception to that might be to bolster in. Sometimes I'll do a little vignetting with some black. That's always fun. But I haven't lately. In fact, I haven't even really been doing a lot of second passes lately. I've been sort of hitting where I wanted to hit at that first pass, which I think is really a good goal to aim for. Every time, and you've heard, well, I don't know if you've heard this from me because like I said, I get maybe 100 new subscribers every month, so I'm not going to assume any of you have heard anything I said before. Um, but you you always go for the best you can get, and then sometimes you just fall well short, and you've got to put it back on the easel. But every time you put it on the easel after it's pretty much done. By done, I mean, let's just say you've got all the board covered, you know, with a little bit of flair. At that point, at any point where it was like in some sort of saleable state, um, you take real chances when you put it on the easel, because every move that you make to improve something is also going to remove something else. And also, there's another byproduct, and that is things get stiffer. The expressive quality of your strokes, the gestural quality, will be gradually reduced and reduced and reduced as you lay ever smaller strokes over. That said, there's plenty of times that you want to go for a second or third pass, and I don't hesitate if I need to. I just think it's good to be aware of it. Like this painting we're doing today, finishing up, I should say, was fine. It really took on a much nicer quality after the second pass, and I felt like I didn't overwork it. I brought up a few things. It was a bit boring, but in a nice way. I mean, I could have got away maybe with just glazing it and leaving that alone, but you could see I brought up some not I wouldn't even call them highlights. I call them middle lights in the trees. And then in the ground stuff, I'm bringing in a little bit there, but everything's sort of vague. Having that bottom a little darker just gave us some depth and interest. And you can see I'm also quieting things down with the paper towel because I don't want it to be too strong down there. I didn't want anything in this painting to be too strong. I could have gone with a really, really bright white in the sky, and that would create another set of problems in that I would have needed to lighten the hills in the background even more, and then probably lighten the water more, and then everything's getting real contrasty, and bit by bit you might lose some of the nice qualities that you had. So I think it's a great goal to try and do your paintings alla prima. I really do. Although I don't personally hesitate to take things back up on the easel. It's good to be aware, though, really good to be aware of the risk you're running. And there should be a voice in your head that's saying, do I really need to do this? Is this a good way to go? And that's one reason why. So I did the original painting for this. It looks like I looked it up on YouTube. It was like 4 months ago, probably 5. And I did it live. And if I was a really good YouTube host, I would put a link to that in the description. Maybe I'll remember. I know I've talked about doing that before, but what can I say? I'm pretty good about getting new things up all the time, and that's because I'm in a flow, and I always stay in a flow. But when it comes to like extra promotional activities, like keeping up my Instagram account, and I noticed lots of you have been following me on Instagram, and maybe you've noticed that I'm not even posting anything on Instagram, and I've got a block there. Um, Someone was was psychoanalyzing me about that the other day, but I think at the end of the day, I just don't feel like I could do Instagram if all I did was drop and run. But it's a social network. There's supposed to be some interaction there. So, but the problem I've run into is that I just have such limited time. That's one of the reasons I have limited time is because of my proclivity and great love of doing music. And music is basically a hobby of mine, but I think I'm quite good at it. Not my music isn't everyone's cup of tea. It's actually sort of like my painting in that it can be a bit dark and impregnated with lots of emotional meaning. In other words, maybe a bit on the heavy side. But one thing that's great is I collaborate with a gal named Jenny on a site called Band Lab, and she is super talented. She collaborates with all sorts of people. She is a really good singer and a really good songwriter, and she does just infinite songs, you know. And I love working with her because it's just great to have a voice that's not mine on the music, and she's super easy to work with. And so the reason I'm giving you all this information is at the end of this video, I'm going to put our newest song up for you to check out. And it's not like for sale or anything anywhere. It'll be on our next record, and I'll try and promote that. I try not to over promote the music because I know the reality is you guys don't care much, so which is fine. I'm not bothered. You know, you can't care about everything, right? Anyway, I am sharing it, and I'll call it out to her too, because I know sometimes she can. She's got a family and stuff too, so I know she can find time to catch a 15-minute video, and yeah, it'll be cool. I really love this song, and so I want to share it with you. So you can stay tuned and listen to that, and that'd be awesome. And hopefully you got something from watching me fix this little guy up, and I definitely will try and get um, the initial painting in. It went pretty quick because I remember it was like an hour and a half session live. Nice thing is too, this is an 8x10. I have a lot of 8x10 frames sitting around. Pardon me. And so I'm trying to get back into the 8x10 format here and there since I have so many nice frames around. And I got to a point with 8x10s where I just fed up with the size and didn't want to work on it anymore. But I'm over that. That's like 5-6 years ago now. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Check out my new song with Jenny. And meanwhile, take good care. Stay out of trouble. See you real soon with another video. Look around you. Falling down.
As the wind blows across my heart, it turns to stone and will only shatter in your hand. As the rain falls and hides my tears, when I come crashing down,
Look around you.
when all around me falls down, when I fall, oh, when I fall down, fall down, fall down, as the snow falls down. Look around you. There's no one else around. Either way, as long as we're together, I think we'll get back up. Don't you? If we fall down together, I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna help you up. To fall down when I I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna help you up.